Welcome back to Creating Joy with My Friends. Today I have special guest Kevin Krentz, and welcome. I'm so glad you could be here with us.
Excited.
So today we're here at 3rd Street Fusion in Cameron, Missouri, and we're here with Kevin Krentz, and he's going to show us how he is going to make marbles. So before we get started though, I had a few questions. So Kevin, tell me about your marbles and how you got started doing this.
Well, I have been collecting marbles for 40 years, and probably 15, 16 years ago, found a book that was how to torchwork marbles, and sat around and studied the book through the winter, and actually went to a marble show that next spring, and the gentleman that actually wrote the book was making a marble, and it just kind of brought the book to life. Before I left the show that day, I bought a torch and some supplies, and just kind of got started on my own with what information I had out of that book, and we chased a few marbles around the floor and got burned a few times, but we finally learned how to control the glass. And so, you know, being a collector, I always told myself I would never sell a marble until I'd buy it. And it's been 16 years of doing it, and I have no problem selling marbles to collectors. And I've always thoroughly enjoyed marbles. And so we are having a marble show for the 3rd year straight.
Awesome.
And we're excited. We've got some good marble makers coming. We have one gentleman traveling from California. We have one from North Carolina, Ohio, Wichita, Kansas City, and a couple not quite that far away. So looking to have a good show.
When is it?
It is October the 5th, and
Can you give us the address?
It is at 107 East 3rd Street, Cameron, Missouri, and 3rd Street Fusion, which you mentioned that.
And what's the time?
It is from 9:30 in the morning to 6:30 in the evening. So I would venture to say we're going to have 12 to 14 tables set up, and they'll be completely full of marbles and glass.
Awesome. So is there other things going on around here too?
Outside, in front of the store, there's a half a block that's designated for the Main Street Arts Festival. So it's like the 9th annual, I believe. And so there's 20 plus vendors that'll be outside. So anticipating that weather's looking like it's supposed to be nice. So we just need people to come.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you. Well, we're so excited to learn how you make marbles today.
Okay. So we've already taken care of some of the prep work that takes place when you're doing a marble. So you have to do your prep work before you get started, because you can't do it as you're into the marble. Doing the prep work for the marble demonstration, and so I've already taken the time to pull stringers and pick out my colors, do my arrangement, and then this has got to go on the preheat tray so we can preheat, and then here in about 10 minutes we will be ready to start our marble. So you got punties that are things that hold the marble while you're working on it, and you have to grind and clean them, which we've done that. You have to clip and prep and arrange your glass and preheat it on the preheat tray, which we've done that. So now we're ready to go ahead and prep our glass punties and get started with the marble. So that's what we're going to do. So the first one is a larger glass punty, and that's the first rod that we will use to hold the marble. little information on glass. Glass is very sensitive to heat, so you have to preheat that because of that. And you can't let it cool. Trust me, going through this, there'll be times that you're thinking there ain't no way this is going to be a marble, but it does turn out. These are finishing punties. You have to have them at the very end. Kind of excited to have Tara in willing to do this.
We're glad to be here with you.
So these got to have like a pencil point tip on them. Like a pencil. We are going to start the marble. Make sure I got my flame set good. So one of the first things you got to do is when you first put a piece of fresh glass in the flame, if you don't melt the end off and let it drop, and discard that, you'll have a smudge looking spot on your marble. So it purifies the end of the glass by letting it drop to the table. Just like that. Now glass starts to become molten at 1300 degrees. So right now that's probably 1600 degrees. Once you get the size of gather that you want, then you will heat it and smash it to where it's a half a marble, creating a flat spot. And then you will pick up your colors on the flat spot, do a little bit of work, and then you make your second half. So this is our third annual show for the marbles that we've had. The first year we had a 2-day event, and in the 2 days we figured we probably had about 400 people through our store. And the next year, the second year, wasn't quite as big. We had fewer marble people, but we still probably had 300 people through the store in 2 days. This year it's a 1 day, so we've got some good people coming. I'm not a fortune teller, so I don't know how many people are going to show up.
Well, we invite all our viewers to come out and join us over here and watch all these people making marbles.
Well, and just to come and see the stuff they have is incredible.
Yeah.
It's art. You know, it's art. It's art with glass.
They're beautiful. And at the end, will you show us some of the marbles that you have?
Absolutely.
Great.
So does that look big enough for a half a marble?
That looks huge. So why does it have to be a half a marble? Why can't that
Because
just become
I have
one?
to smash it. If you remember, I said I had to smash it in half to get the colors inside.
To get the,
and then you got to cap that with another half a marble.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's how you get your colors internal. This is a marble mold. It helps you keep shape. Here's our first punty. there for the next half. I always tease people, especially if I have young girls watching a demo, that I have a princess wand. Does that look like a princess wand?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, this is the part that really blows people away. They're like, why did he smash that? It's called a press plate. So letting it kind of get hard a little bit. And we're ready to heat and pick up. So we heat up that flat surface, and then when we get it hot enough, we'll go over and pick up our colors that are in the preheat tray.
So what is that?
So we have 2 stripes of dichroic glass. We got some kind of pinkish transparent and some goldstone. This is where some of the detail work starts to happen. So after picking that up, we're just trying to get everything flat. So you heat and press a couple times. Okay, now we have to do a little bit of dragging on the 2 ends so we can dress it up. We've got to clean up our ends. You see the lines, Tara?
Yeah.
So you're just trying to drag all those colors to a point. Oh, it looks like a mess. It is for a reason. What you do to one end, you got to do the other end. So we're going to go ahead and make our second half, and while we're doing it, we also have to keep this one hot. So we have both hands very busy.
I got to use both parts of your brain to do this.
Right and left.
It's pretty amazing.
If I was to leave this one out of the heat, it would crack. But at least once we're done with this, at least it's round again.
Now there's a man that can do 2 things at once. That's great.
3, I could top 2.
Oh, there you go. You're amazing, Kevin.
this particular type of marble, I'm going to try and call it a galaxy. So it should, when you look down into it, it kind of should look like a galaxy.
So how do you get the sparkles in there?
Just picked it up. It's called dichroic glass. So dichroic glass is kind of like a glittery glass. Just about ready to try and cap it off. And here we're trying to hope that we don't trap air. So now you just have to seat the two together. And hopefully you're not too far out of round. Big question is always how much glass to put on that second layer. It's actually moving along quite nicely. Now with any luck, the first time I go back in my mold, it comes back out pretty round. Round.
That's amazing.
Round to flat to round. Now we have to get rid of the big rod. So we will have to switch to the stainless steel punties. So at this point I gotta let that cool a little so the glass stiffens up. It's got to cool enough that it'll hold the marble, melt off the big piece of glass. It's all about putting the heat in the right places. A little close-up of what we've done so far. So as you can see inside there, the sparkly glass.
Beautiful.
I guess you can see it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Now we have to switch to a 90-degree, because we have to go from pole to pole the rest of the way through of the marble, so we have to make a 90-degree switch. So now we're running pole to pole. Now we're going to get rid of this one. After sandwiching that all together, we got to clean our ends up again. So that means we got to drag more glass onto each end so it straightens our pattern. These are what they call diamond shears. So they clip that end that we just drug. Continue to try to clean my ends up. If you don't do it now, your marble will not look good. Tara, are you learning anything?
Oh, I'm learning a lot. This is amazing. I had no idea that there was so much into making marbles.
Oh yeah. Lots of steps.
So what do you like most about making marbles?
Oh, just being a lover of marbles and glass in general. I just think it's something about starting with just some basic clear rods and trying to come up with a plan to make something that's kind of cool looking and pretty and beautiful. So now it's to the point where we're good and round, that we want to do the spin twisting of the marble. So with a galaxy type marble, we are going to probably have 4, 5, maybe even 6 revolutions in that ball of glass. So the marble will be stuck in between 2 stainless steel rods, and you place gentle heat where you need it. And it's a process of doing the rotation with your right hand, the brake is your left hand, and it makes that whole marble move. Now it's not real fast, it's a slow twist, so it doesn't get messy. If you try and twist it too fast, it'll get messy on you. So we like to think of it as us controlling the glass and the glass not controlling us. So you got to keep going back into the flame to pick up heat. Soften up that glass a little bit. It takes a couple minutes before you actually notice that that glass is moved. You see the rotation starting, Tara?
Yeah, it's trying to move around in a circle, it kind of looks like.
So I think we've got about enough twist in it now. Start the process of getting rid of the first punty. Can you see how the galaxy is starting to look? You see the sparkle?
Yeah.
So really all that's left is we got to get it round again. And each time you get your round, we have to clean up our end just a touch. I have a couple of rules when it comes to me making marbles in front of people. Number 1 rule is you cannot yawn, because then I think I'm boring you. So no yawning. Number 2 is when I show you the marble, don't touch it.
That would be painful.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I come out of the mold here, I flame polish that end's done. Okay, then we have our punties over here that we prepped. So we use the first of the 2. Now these are not stuck in, they're just surface attached. Don't want to mess that end up anymore, so you just put them on the surface. I take a lot of pride in my ends. It's because I spend some time pulling glass, so it straightens the lines back up nice. Tara, have you figured out how we quit handling this?
How to what?
How we quit handling the marble?
I've been trying to figure it out. How are you going to get rid of the other side without ruining it?
I'll show you in just a second. See that sparkle in the end?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing is letting it get kind of hard. Our last time we have to stick. A light attachment. This is the last time in the marble mold. this up. And you set your marble in it. And a butter knife. Nice little tap. Pick up the torch. Melt your punty mark back in. And we have a marble. So here in a second, I will pick it up in this big one. And I'll let you have one quick look at it. It's got to go to the kiln. So the marble goes in here so it anneals. That kiln is setting at 900 degrees, which is a perfect temperature for glass just to stay stable and anneal. And then tomorrow when it's cool, you get the marble out of it. We're done.
That was amazing.
Okay, Tara, is what I've done here is I've selected a marble that I did a couple weeks ago. What it is it's kind of a galaxy, really similar to what we just did. It's just minus probably one of the colors, but it gives you a pretty good idea of what it looks like. So when I flash it into the screen, you can see, get it just right, how you can kind of see all the sparkly glass. That's kind of like what they call looking into the galaxy. So they're fun.
It's beautiful. That's great work.
So this is just what I do. So at the show, we've got several different vendors that'll be here with glass stuff that they've made for sale. Everybody's art's just a little different, some quite a bit different. You're going to see other galaxies. You're going to see things that he calls the space alien inside of it. You're going to see spiders and owls and you just swirls. There'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, 1,500 marbles here.
Wow.
I'm guessing. So.
And can people buy these marbles?
Oh, absolutely. The artists that are coming, they travel a long way, so that's very much appreciated if they could sell some marbles. So, and that's what the shows are all about, is to showcase the art, and hopefully that the artists are rewarded by some purchases. And so, but they all enjoy it. They like getting together and spending the day together, and you know, just like, you know, the marble people, they kind of stick together like a lot of other groups do. You know, they just kind of got a buddyship going. So
that's great. Thank you so much for sharing your talent with us.
Thank you for your time.
It was wonderful for helping us share how you create joy in your life and to the lives of other people that enjoy this.
Absolutely.
This mode.
Probably the biggest joy is when we give kids marbles. They love it. They love it. So.
And my son has received some, and he loves them. So
we give them out every day.
That's
so.
awesome.
Good.
Well, thank you again, Kevin, for
Thank you very
joining
much.
us this week on Creating Joy with Our Friends.
Thank you.